Thank you to Dilly B. Dilly for their generous donation on Patreon. If you would like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description.
Bon qui. I'm Gary YouTube, and welcome back to I Like Cultaholic. It's a good channel. It's password day 3, the day before everything goes to shit, apparently. It's the last day before things really hit. And, here we go! Oh, my lord! Oh, my darling! Oh, my darling! People telling me that words in red are passwords? There haven't been any words in red, though. Other than, like, names? So that's weird, but, the main thing is that I find out what the passwords are down the line, and how I'm playing it now is without knowing anything. That's how I do my first playthroughs, but, you know, if there's secrets to be unlocked and go through on other playthroughs, I tend to do that if I like the game. So, let's just continue, huh? I'm excited! Despite going to bed relatively calm after talking to Dean, I didn't sleep well. I was up early. My body was telling me that I'd had enough rest. Not that I felt rested. My head was still spinning. I let my eyes wander to the bedroom I'd claimed as my own, but it lacked the familiar comforts of home. The house was giving me an odd feeling. Was it the vault? Was it the lack of staff? Was it that everything was black and white? Was it something else? Even then, what was hidden behind that door? Was it something important like Roswell thought? My thoughts raced through my mind as I could hear other things going on in the house, or at least I assumed that's what I was hearing. Rolling over, I wondered if it was worth taking Dean up on his offer, and I grabbed my phone. It was early, and I wondered if my paranoia was worth bothering one of the others. I already started flicking through my contacts, having made up my mind. All that was left was deciding who to message. Alright, I've been told that it was either, I think it was this day, where I find out whose path I'm going to be on. And I had already chosen Roswell as sorts. Apparently the decisions, like who you, whatever, doesn't affect whose route you're on beforehand. So, I'm gonna go with Roswell, because that's who I was going with already. Roswell was probably the right one to speak to. You know what, if that really is the choice, I'm gonna fucking make a save state for that shit. Let's fucking blap, just in case. Roswell was probably the right one to speak to. If there was anything funny going on, he would or should know. Best case scenario, he'd be able to reassure me that there was nothing going wrong. Worst case scenario, he might know some sort of ghost bargaining strategy. I shot him a message and got a reply almost instantly. It was rare for Roswell to be awake this early. Normally he'd sleep in due to a sugar crash from the night before. I sent him another one asking if he was free to talk. Not even a minute ticked by before the door to my room opened with Roswell peering in. Yeah, that was quick and creepy. I came as quickly as I could. That was fast. Come in, Roswell. That's creepy, man. He stepped around the door, closing it behind him and wandering over to me in bed.
So, the house has you worried? Have you seen a ghost?
No. But it makes me... it feels like this place is haunted. If not that, something's making me feel... it's making me feeling off.
Well, I haven't noticed any normal paranormal activity, or any signs to say that there's a malicious spirit lingering about. Trust me, I'd know.
I mean, I know it's a hobby, but if things were to go down, you'd be able to, you know, do something about it.
Would that make you feel better?
I nodded quickly, a smile forming on Roswell's face.
So long as it's something like a ghost, yeah. I've read a bunch of books. More likely to find something to help in one of those than lugging around some fancy ray gun.
Funny, considering the fucking title screen I've seen with you in it has you holding some fucking glowy shit. What, like Ghostbusters?
Well, yeah. I prefer more traditional exorcism methods. If you're that worried, just go grab some salt from the kitchen and throw it at anything that spooks you.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Either you'll banish the ghost or blind whatever assailant is looking to do you harm so you can run away.
We both laughed, the tension falling away from our discussion and a lot of my worries fading away. Roswell flashes me a smile, and I took the chance to ask him something else that had been bothering me. There's something else, too. Not nearly as important, but something I've noticed.
What's that?
This place is very big for just one butler, right? Shouldn't there be more staff?
I was thinking about that too. To be honest, I don't really know much about the place, but I do remember hearing that it played host to a bunch of people on and off, as opposed to having a huge family staying here on a permanent basis. Then something happened, and the people stopped coming. If people aren't using the space, I guess it doesn't take a lot to clean if you don't have to clean every room. Even then, I get the impression the owner must still be loaded.
Well, good to know we can rule you out as the owner then.
Hey, you never know, I could be the owner.
After another brief laughing interlude, Roswell looked me over. Sorry, there's a little bit of dread creeping in.
So feeling a little better now?
I think so.
I doubt there's anything bad going on. And even if there was, we have options. Just put it down to an unfamiliar bed for now, and I guess we'll take it a day at a time.
Right.
Now, I think I'm gonna go back to my room for a bit to rest up. You should probably use the time to do the same before breakfast.
Alright, I'll see you downstairs. Thanks again, Roswell. Roswell left, and I got dressed. Taking his advice, I rested up before it was time to head down for breakfast. Much like the first night, I was the last one to arrive to breakfast. It was very peppy breakfast music. And once again, I had free call as to who to sit next to. Oh, I only get Dean and Tyson? Ugh. Well, I'd already chosen Tyson before, so I guess I'll choose Tyson. Why do I only get these two? It's fucking weird. Why would I only get these two options? Alright, I'll choose Tyson. At a glance, it seemed Tyson was well rested, if a little bored. Figured he might like some company. Morning.
Morning. Sleep alright?
Been better.
Yeah? Who?
Who?
Yeah, who's underperforming?
What? No, I just had trouble sleeping.
Not like you'd tell me anyway. How'd you beg for someone that likes a bad boy anyway? Not that. None of the guys match that.
Turned over a new leaf, have you?
Except me, Pop. But you're out of your league on that one.
Tyson started to grab food from in front of him, stocking up his plate and tucking in. With how fast he was eating, I could have sworn I was sitting next to Dean. Whoa, hungry much?
Hey, free grub. Good free grub.
Well, yeah, but aren't you gonna get sick eating that fast?
Nah, I know my limits. You should get some food in you, though. I was gonna take a look around, figure you might want to come.
Sure. Don't have any plans for today.
Great.
So wait a minute. So I only got to choose between those two? Is that the choice? Like, I was told either today or day 4 was the day in which I would choose whose route I was on. I thought I chose Roswell. But maybe I had to choose Dean or Tyson? It's a little weird. I don't know. We'll just keep playing. Ty's sudden outburst caused everyone to look his way. Not that it seemed to really bother him all that much. Maybe he was just lonely. Riding the enthusiasm, Ty got up and left. Figured that if he was already on his way to check out the place, I should probably follow.
So, you've had a look around the place, yeah?
I'm just changing his voice. I couldn't decide. I was trying to do like a smooth thing, but I'll just go with fucking Sissel / Spencer / a bunch of other people. Could say that.
Anywhere you'd recommend to kick us off? Actually, before that, need to head back to the room.
Without waiting, Ty started to jog up the stairs.
Alright. So now that you're here, not going to mince words, Dave.
Ty began to pace before sighing, giving me a hard stare before continuing.
I came because you invited me, but I think you made a mistake given who else is here. I'm thankful, don't get me wrong, but I think that as a whole you should have picked someone else.
Well, I get what you're saying. Not as if you can head home now, right?
Could call a cab or something.
Well, yeah, but that'd be stupid expensive. Besides, why not just make the most of it? Could just spend the month training or wandering the woods.
Yeah, right. Like that'd go down well. Something tells me spending a whole month in a dark basement is a little sus.
So, what's the alternative?
Well, I ain't apologizing.
Well, ideal scenario then?
I don't get on well with them. We're different people, and that's okay. Besides, you can keep me company, so it's not so bad. I'm fine with that.
Well, if you're sure. Still, what are you planning on doing today? Gym all day?
Nah, still want to have a look around. Which, room should we start with?
Well, you got the basement covered.
Anything good upstairs?
There's like, I guess you'd call it a reading room.
Books? Pass.
So fucking sassy. There's kind of like a study museum combo upstairs. Upstairs. Bunch of old stuff to look at.
You make it sound like a field trip.
Could check out the games room upstairs. Almost looks like a casino.
I could get behind that. If anything, might make us some quick cash.
You like to gamble?
Well, sorta. Guess I'm lucky, I guess. Better at placing bets on hands of poker or blackjack. Tried sticking away from slots. I'll probably go and check out the gym after either way. Want to work off breakfast at some point?
Alright, sure. The two of us headed upstairs, Tyson leading the way and sticking his head into any open door he could find until we found the games room.
Well, well.
Ty went over to one of the slot machines resting against the wall and gave the lever a whack.
More like a casino than I thought it'd be. Why'd they even have a setup like this anyway? Like, what's the point in a slot machine if you own it? Any money you put in, you'll just get back.
What if you had friends over?
Still, then you'd just be stooging money off your friends. What if it pays out, too? Then you just gotta give money away like that for free?
Well, I guess if you're rich enough to have a place like this, maybe money isn't that big a deal?
It must be nice. Still, what else is in here? Looks like they have a projector set up.
Yeah, apparently there's a bunch of video games rigged up to play off it or something.
Oh yeah?
According to Orlando, at least. Didn't go into any details of how any of it worked. Still, suppose that's something, right? Ty went over to one of the cabinets, rifling through the things sitting on the shelves.
Don't see any games in here. Couple of books, spare controllers and stuff.
Controllers mean games, though, right? At the very least, a console.
You'd think that.
Tyson spent a bit more time rummaging before coming over with a folder.
I think this might help. Let's see. Catalog of the games room. Access to the main TV and attached devices is done by the control panel inside the cabinet shown. Looks like there's a hidden panel or something in the cabinet over there.
I'll go have a look. Wandered over to the cabinet Ty pointed out, and upon looking inside, there was a panel with a bunch of buttons and switches. Flipped a switch, and immediately a section of the wall slid aside to reveal a large screen. Hey, this sort of looks like a TV.
Not quite. That's just something for the image to project onto. They've dressed it up a bit.
Tyson pointed up at the ceiling where a small box seemed to be pointed at the wall that just opened up.
That should be the projector. Must have come down when the wall opened. Don't remember seeing it up there a minute ago.
There's a couple other switches here. Should I press them?
Don't see why not. Besides, if we break anything, they should have made it less fragile, right?
I don't really want to have to explain why something's broken when we've only been here a couple of days.
Well, move over then, I'll do it.
Without waiting for me to move, Ty shoved past and started flicking switches. First the screen came on, then a few of the shelves, and following that, the screen had a list of games pre-installed and ready to play.
Not bad.
Oh yeah?
Check out how many games they got. It's probably a custom rig of some kind. Don't think mine at home can hold this many.
You have one of these?
Well, one of them. Seems like they have one of everything and have them all running at the same time. Well, shit, wonder how they're doing that.
Gonna try to do it at home?
If I get another console, sure. Sure they won't mind me if I help myself.
What, you're gonna take one of these home?
Yup. Not gonna miss one.
But
They're not gonna miss one lousy console.
that's stealing!
Then don't fucking tell anyone!
But
Look, if you don't want to have a guilty conscience, don't watch me steal it. Hell, I won't even steal it right now. Jeez, you're such a buzzkill. Well, you've ruined the mood now. Let's go somewhere else.
oh, okay. Tyson stomped out of the room without another word. Still, despite me being the reason he was being sour, he ushered me to follow. We passed Roswell in the foyer, who seemed to just be standing around, almost waiting. Very NPC of you, brother. Ty just stomped on past towards the dining room, paying Roswell no mind.
That was close. He didn't look happy at all.
Yeah, that was my fault. We were upstairs in the games room, and, it doesn't matter. Still, games room's pretty cool. Just check it out if you have the chance.
Oh, then I should, maybe. Maybe after lunch?
Yeah, we're getting close to that, aren't we?
Yep. I was gonna go on ahead before, well...
Worry, I get it.
Oh, that's a relief. Don't know what I'll do, though. Standing out here until the others arrive seems kind of weird, don't you think?
Well, if it were me, I'd just go into the dining room anyway.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, Ty's just... Ty. Get it, he kind of looks like he'll pick a fight with whoever, but he's an alright guy.
Especially now.
Trust me.
Well, if you say so. You're coming too, I guess?
In a bit. Gonna go get something from my room first.
Alright, I'll see you when you get back then.
I wandered upstairs, heading to my room. Seemed as though everyone else was out, though. No one seemed to be in their room otherwise. When I got to my room, I noticed that things seemed different. Nothing major, just... Had someone been in here? I changed my shirt and went back downstairs. Seemed as though nothing was missing. By the time I was back downstairs, though, everyone seemed to be hurrying to the dining room. When we all arrived, though... Uh-oh. The music faded. Oh, fuck. Really? Oh, Lord. Really, anyone could have heard the yelling as they approached, but entering it made it even worse. Seemed as though everyone heard it, as everyone else was filed in close behind. Oh no. Oh no.
Who are you calling a dog, pig?
This. Roswell and Tyson were on the opposite sides of the table, Tyson snarling, hunched over one of the chairs, looking like he'd jump over it.
What's going on? That porker called me a dog. I didn't, I swear.
Roswell made a break for it, hiding behind Sal. Ty was right behind him, stopping shy of Sal and snarling up at the massive crocodile in his way.
What happened?
Sal looked back at Roswell, opting to address him rather than the wolf in front of him, making Ty back off in a huff.
No one's hurt, right? You didn't,
Ty looked like he was about to explode, eyes bulging, but the corners of his mouth turned downward. By comparison, Roswell was meekly clinging to the back of Sal's shirt, using him as a physical barrier. I needed answers, and I didn't like the idea of the two of them fighting. It was just a simple misunderstanding. A look between Roswell and Tyson cleared my throat. Who to ask? Well, thing is, we're supposed to be on Roswell's route, at least that's what we're trying to do. But as is the history of these games, I tend to fucking somehow wind up with someone else instead. But I'm still gonna ask Roswell. Hey, brother, what the fuck? Roswell, what happened?
We were just talking, and he snapped all of a sudden.
Wait, what? What'd you say to set him off?
He called me a puppy! A fucking puppy!
Wait, really?
Maybe? You bet he did! How many times have I gotta say it? Lupus!
Lupus? Wolf? What the I don't know what that means. Roswell stepped out from behind Sal, stomping his feet at Tyson and pointing at him, trying to stare him down.
And I told you it's Canis, Lupus. You're still a canine.
What? Tyson started to snarl, Roswell backing down with a yelp and ducking behind Sal again while holding his ears. What the fuck are you talking about? I couldn't tell if this was a big deal or not. It was something Tyson had always been touchy about, but I had no idea why. I looked between Tyson and Roswell, snuggling to find the line to defuse the situation, but that's when Sal spoke up.
Is this an important thing to argue about?
Of all the things you could be fighting about, that's it? Honestly?
Ty was staring daggers at anyone that was addressing him, while Roswell was clinging to the back of Sal's shirt, sneaking peeks around him every chance he got. I watched as Tyson balled up his fist, shooting me a look. He was pissed. And I don't think I did any favors by asking Roswell over him. As he stomped out of the room, he bumped me on the way out, nearly toppling me over. Orlando caught me and kept me on my feet while the others checked in with Roswell. Me, on the other hand, looked over my shoulder to see Ty disappearing in the direction of the basement. When Tyson was out of the picture, Roswell stepped out proper and from behind Sal and with a sigh.
So,
mind catching the rest of us up?
you should be more careful. He could have hurt you. I was fine. I was just caught off guard, that's all.
I don't know. That seems...
Really? I would have been fine.
But why call him a puppy, though? That's just asking for trouble.
Well, you might have come up.
You might have come up. What? Me?
Yeah. You came up in conversation, he looked happy and started spacing out, and then... Oh, yeah, that might have been a poor choice of words. Still, he should have... overreacted to being corrected like that.
I imagine shouldn't have.
It's alright to be wrong sometimes.
There's one thing to be just wrong and another to have someone correct you, though.
Be more careful in the future.
Right. Nothing bad happened this time before we arrived, but...
Okay. I'll be more careful.
With the argument behind us for the time being, we got settled at one end of the table while Orlando ducked into the kitchen to prepare lunch. Orlando brought out a big tray with what seemed to be any sort of sandwich you could imagine. They were only small pieces, almost like finger food. You made all these, Orlando.
Looks good. Feel bad that you went through all the trouble given we have a butler.
I really don't mind. Friends just make each other sandwiches, right? I thought that was the wife's job.
Almost immediately, Sal whacked Dean across the back of his head, shooting him a fierce look while going to pick the lettuce out of his sandwich.
How's everyone been going so far?
Anyway, what the fuck does that mean? We went around the table sharing what we'd found. Most of it was pretty tame, just minor discoveries each of us had made about the place.
Well, I did end up speaking to Benson about that activity. I think you'll like it. And with how all over the place we've been, just as well, too.
Alright. What have you got in mind?
Ready? A scavenger hunt!
A scavenger hunt?
Yeah, it's a great idea! But why a scavenger hunt?
More importantly, what are we finding?
Well, that's where Benson came in and helped. Turns out there was this set of medals that once belonged to the people that lived here. Oh my god, apparently they got hidden around the place by one of the kids as a prank.
This is a setup, dude. I just watched Cabin in the Woods the other day. Or was it yesterday? I don't fucking... No, it was just 2 days ago. Either way. That sounds like one of those setups. Fucking the Buellers with the butlers, the bucklers. The bucklers. It was the bucklers. Wasn't it the bucklers? I'm asking you. Was it the bucklers? Bucklers? Buckners. Butt lickers. Wait, so we're just looking around for stuff that no one else could find?
Well, yes, but Benson also told me to pass on that there's a reward.
Well, alright! Why did he disappear? Why did Dean go away and then come back? What was that about?
I think I could find a medal or two.
Forget about that. I want to know about the reward first.
Wouldn't that be better as a surprise?
Can't expect us to go wandering around to only get an expired coupon as a prize. Or like, just the second DVD in a B-grade anime.
The reward is access to the vault downstairs.
Oh, shit. There's a silence and a few confused expressions thrown about the table. Oh, boy. Haas is like, oh. But Dina's like, oh. And Roswell's like, Those what those faces mean to me.
Anything of worth we find inside is ours to keep in exchange for the medals. Apparently they have an intense sentimental value to Benson.
Sentimental value, sure, but to give us whatever's inside the vault, is that good? We looked at one another again before considering what could be inside the vault. Money, treasure, bouncy ball. My mind wandered to what I had hoped was beyond that door. Money would be nice, but there was always that saying about it not buying happiness. Treasure would be neat, but wouldn't that just be a different kind of money?
Hold on a minute. What's wrong, Orlando?
What if he just wants us to find these medals for some sort of ghost ritual thing? Should we help him?
Really? I don't think the medals were for that.
Oh yeah? Then what are the medals for? What were they medals of?
The Zodiac, actually, so...
See? That's totally in the realm of ritual possibility. Think about all the games you play where you have to collect the thing, and then it turns out that the player was a fool for assembling everything for the villain. I ran out of breath at the end of that. Sal reached over to Orlando's face and held his mouth shut. He seemed to be gentle, but he sighed and looked back to Roswell.
What do they look like? Well, about that. Benson just said that they had colored ribbon and they were made of metal. They'd have the signs of the Zodiac engraved on them, too.
That's something to go off of, but what color ribbon? What type of metal? Roswell shrugged, shaking his head.
That's all the info Benson was willing to give me.
This has creepy ritual written all over it.
Maybe, but what if it isn't? I've been to your house. You have some strange collections.
Maybe. Let's not get into what sort of things I hoard, Sal. Okay, let's find those medals. Well, that was a quick turnaround.
I'll take it, though.
Did you say horoscopes? If we're talking star signs, that makes 12 in total, right? Cancer, Aquarius, Leo, obviously, Aries, Pisces, Taurus, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, and Gemini.
You just know them all off the top of your head.
Well, it helped that I checked mine on the bus. Normally do, but I picked up a magazine for the drive here.
I suppose it makes sense, but still, is that a normal thing to do?
I know Sal likes checking his. I check mine from time to time, but I don't put a lot of stock in it. They're just a bit too vague.
Looked across to Sal, who seemed to be nodding slightly in Dean's direction.
Very true. Can't say that they have a lot of stock in them, but they're fun at least to look at.
How about this? Let's tackle the scavenger hunt in pairs and decide tomorrow what those teams will be, right?
Okay, so maybe we choose the route tomorrow.
Why not now?
Well, I was hoping we'd all be present. After all, we might need all the help we can get on our search, even if that means keeping Tyson in the loop.
Even after earlier, Sure that's a wise idea?
We get nothing if we only find 11 out of the whole set. As much as I don't like Tyson, we're kind of stuck. Jeesh. When you put it that way, I guess that makes sense. Are we picking teams out of a hat, or...?
Bigger problem, if we do this in pairs, we're gonna have uneven teams.
Wait, really? I counted all those at the table, plus Tyson, realizing what he meant. Oh, that's... yeah. What about a group of 3?
Good work. As a team of 3 might be a bit more of a bother than actual help, though. At least that way no one gets left out.
Assuming everyone wanted to take part, but even then, team that finds the most medals wins, right?
I thought the whole point was to find all of them, and that we got nothing without a complete set.
Ah, right. You got me there.
Then I'll party for the winners for contributing most to getting us the full set. Failing that we can just get consolation prize ice cream or something.
I'm fine with that. Not gonna turn down free food either.
I'm with you on that one.
We finished off our lunch and split up to do our own thing. As for me, I figured I'd get a nap in because we're always sleeping. Always sleeping. I collapsed on my bed trying to get comfortable, but my mind wandered. I was curious about the door downstairs. What was behind it? And if it was worth finding a bunch of medals for. Sitting up, I pulled out my journal and wrote down what had happened so far. Despite only being here for a couple days, I had a lot on my mind. But despite me writing down everything that was immediately on my mind, the temptation to go downstairs was still there. Go downstairs? Let's follow the plot. Visit the vault. Let's do the thing. Taking another look at my journal, I put it back in my bag before leaving my room. Wandered downstairs, looking to see if anyone was around, but it seemed like everyone was still out doing their own thing. I could hear someone else down here, likely Tyson in the gym, but I was intent on heading to the door that had gotten me so curious. Alright. Let's see. Okay. So, something that I'm gonna feel guilty about it, but I'm still gonna fall and do it. Someone commented that they thought that a certain word was in red. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Well, the reason I mention it is because someone that they were replying to said that the words in red were the passwords. I don't know if that fucking was a typo or something or whatever, but I'm curious. Giddy Cat commented that they said when you go to the vault the first time, if you made a save, there's a secret scene that they know the password. It can help me with a story. If they wanted to know, they'd tell me. And I thought I commented telling them that I appreciated it, but I was gonna not use it. But apparently that didn't save, and instead McCry1CV4 commented that password no longer works and just closes the game. Damn. The comment says from Ace_Animatics, also hint red words could be counted as passwords, so pay very close attention, ... after the ... event. I'm sorry, but you'll have to play through it first to get the password. Also, since this is at least the Roswell route, you'll get the password in the CG, but no such event will happen at least on day 4. I'm pretty sure I'll understand what that means at some point, hopefully. Mikeage08 says, isn't Benson in red? Referring to the color of the butler's name. And then McCry1 swoops in with, I know you're excited, but I'm sure Decker is capable of figuring out what to do. Could you maybe stick to the information that's already been seen? Because that is what I asked for. Very cool. We got the spoiler police. Very cool. I'm not diminishing your work, because that is very important, because now I'm curious if Benson actually does anything. Error, password invalid. Yeah, I fucking thought. Seemed like it didn't like what I put in. No surprise, really. No, I have no idea. I have no other ideas. I had to back up to my room. Oh well. Once I'd settled into my room, must have fallen asleep at some point. The bed was comfier than I gave it credit for. The only reason I woke up was because I heard knocking at my chamber door. I looked at my phone to check the time. It was too early for dinner, but maybe something had happened. Come in. Oh, it's Roswell. Maybe we are on his route. I don't know. Roswell opened the door and wandered inside, hand rummaging around in a bag of jelly beans before shoving a handful into his mouth.
Hi, Dave. What are you up to?
I was asleep. Not that I meant to. What about you? Snack time?
Oh, nothing. Just checking in. Want some jelly beans?
Would you like a jelly baby? Fuck. Doctor Who again. Again with the fucking Doctor Who. I shook my head, rolling over, so I was sitting on the side of the bed with Roswell coming closer to join me. He put the jelly beans away, bumping me gently on the arm.
So, any ideas on who you want to partner up with for this scavenger hunt? I'm honestly happy with whoever has a partner. I just think this'll give us a good chance to learn more about each other.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat. We're all friends, but yes, it's different when you're living with someone, right?
Well, I guess this is close to a close analog for that, sure. Plus, who knows? Maybe doing so will let some romance blossom.
I chuckled, shaking my head at him. I thought it was bad enough that Orlando was playing wingman, but who knows what Roswell and Orlando have been discussing at this point. That why you wanted us to pair up?
Not really, but it could happen. A lot can happen in a month after all.
Well, that's true. What about you?
Huh?
Who are you hoping to partner up with?
I mean, it becomes less of a game if you don't really get along. If you don't rightly get along with who you're paired up with. Beyond that, I don't mind. I don't think I mind.
I frowned, immediately feeling as though he was taking a jab at Tyson. But there really wasn't anyone that could partner up with Tyson if everyone felt the same as Roswell. Except for me, that is.
I get the feeling that, say, Dean and Haas may not get along as much as they seem fairly laid back. Or even like Sal and Haas, given one likes water and the other, well...
Now it just sounds like you're being racist. Maybe you're right.
Oh, I didn't mean for it to come across that way. Really. I just know that Haas doesn't like the pool because of the chlorine.
Guess that makes sense.
I'm sure it'll work out, right? We're all reasonable people deep down, I'm sure.
My mind wandered over to my interaction with Benson for some reason. Maybe Roswell would know more about him to make him seem less creepy. Oh yeah, I was meaning to ask you about Benson. Does he seem odd to you?
Odd how?
I mean, like, it's kind of creepy when you're in the same room as him. Or maybe it was just tiredness getting to me.
Probably the tiredness. I haven't noticed anything odd. If I do, I'll let you know, though.
I nodded slowly, trying to convince myself that it was all in my head.
Normally when I do, though, I kind of wish I could save the game when I just wake up and just in case something happens.
Save the game when you wake up, huh? Is that a hint?
Like in a video game. It's a little childish, I know, but I put it down to hanging around Orlando a little too much. But hey, the reassurance would be nice if I could get to do the day over and if I screwed up.
I fucked the fuck out of that line, but it's fucking with me that he fucking said that. Yeah, I don't like meta shit. Fucks with me a little too much. I don't like me no likey. We both laughed it off, me shaking my head at how Roswell continued to giggle at his joke long after I stopped.
Well, I should continue on checking on the others until dinner. Probably should tell Tyson about the scavenger hunt too. Or ask Sal if he could do it.
Don't worry, I'll find it. I'll fill him in after dinner. It'll be easier that way.
Alright, I'll leave it to you then. See you at dinner.
With a spring in his step, Roswell left, closing the door behind him. Saving the game, huh? The rest of the afternoon was uneventful, and I spent most of it contemplating what Roswell had said. How often does he have bad enough feelings to want to have a do-over? Okay, you're beating the meta shit over the head. You're beating me over the head with your meta shit. I get it. When the dinner bell rang, we all made our way to the dining room. Oh, God.
A scavenger hunt, huh?
Given what happened at lunch, Tyson was sitting by himself at one end of the table while everyone huddled around the other end. It was almost like seating arrangements at a high school cafeteria. I feel like we said that before.
Tell you what, I'll think on it. Not normally my thing, but I can sleep on it, yeah?
Yeah, teams are being decided tomorrow.
Alright. We'll see how it goes in the morning. Thanks for filling me in.
Watched the Tyson scoffed at the rest of his meal before leaving without another word. Seemed as though things were still stinging from earlier. Or at least that was my guess. Ugh. The rest of the meal was uneventful. The rest of us just idly chatting before heading off to bed. Whatever the reason, all of us found ourselves groggy and wanting sleep.
Man, I'm beat.
I checked my phone, and it was still relatively early. I considered messaging one of the guys, or even just wandering on over to their room to see if they wanted to do anything, but given how tired everyone seemed, I decided against it for now. I showered and jumped into bed, sleep finding me fairly quick. As I lay in bed, though, I wondered about what tomorrow would bring. Did we have any chance of... Wouldn't we just get bored of it eventually? Not that there was any shortage of things to do here if we stopped looking. Day 04. Alright. Well, yep. There's something going on there, but I'm not fucking with it. So that is the end of this episode. Day 3. Oh, fuck. Well... The first 3 days are the ones that everyone said were the neutral, kind of, no, not really shit going on days, so... If we are on Roswell route, though, and that person's comment was right, which, again, don't spoil me, please. I appreciate the thought, but, yeah. If that comment's right, then the event doesn't happen on day 4, but I don't fucking know what that means! So, we'll see. But, until next time, everyone... that's not my outro. Until next time, everyone, howdy diddly do. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, I have been the Trained Up Professional, and you are not. Bye, everyone. Want to say bye, Bree? Yeah!